the street. The downside is, like, if you wind up in that crowd, you can feel a little bit trapped. It provides for a really good drone shot to see all these people packed on Broad Street and not like separated out. But there are people who are like, whoa, all you need is a stampede or a, some jerk off to do a bomb. They do fireworks, and that could startle some people. They did them during the playoffs on Broad Street, and it's like all you need is someone to just like decide, and everyone's trapped by barricades. Like, I guess a crowd could, collectively push them over. So anyway, people could try to jump them. Then of course there's police all manning all up and down the fences. Now if something happened, I'm sure they would allow people to push down the fences to get away. Only at the cross streets can you kind of get through, but even still it's like so packed. During the playoffs, I stayed on the fringe as much as possible. It's too much to get all trapped up in there, and I'm kind of short. I could duck and weave, but anyway. So I'm always talking. I like to create quiet videos, but sometimes talking helps weed out people who have been holding back. It's hard to explain. If you have a hard time out there talking, especially if some people don't, and it's like, how did they get to the gift of gab? This and that. Someone cleaned out their space, unless they do and say dumb things. But it is a matter of cleaning out like your airspace. And there's people up there who think they're in control, or they're made to believe they could be in control, or what have you, and they could be limiting your ability to like speak even the way you used to should someone new come in. Say you're a highly educated person with a lot of language skills, vocabulary, and all of a sudden you're like, I can't think of that word, and I've written it and said it a million times, and it shouldn't be an issue. So there's people who block people inadvertently, or on purpose, or they believe something that's heinous and incorrect. And they think, oh, we gotta, say people speak a certain way on purpose. Like, they know they could be sort of like, either they have an education and they know how to do it, or there's some people in power, and people are like, why does he sound so dumb? He might be afraid to show that he's fed because he really didn't get an education. It's sort of like Community, where the lawyer had to go back to community college to get his law degree. So there is a little secret out there. Some people have been fed their whole lives, and they know their journey through school even was a lot easier than it was, and they're wondering why other people had to struggle so much. And it's like, oh, my brain retains everything. Or they were actually fed heinously. Either way. So point being, some people hide that they're fed, and they grew up in orchestrated communities, technically with a lot of privilege, and that's why they're able to speak so well. But aside from education, they also So on the street, people try to control you in the old school, like, icky guy way. We will put up props, we will do this and that, because we want to show you who's in control, little girl. That's like it's like the lowest level. So I'm told to not pay attention to people trying to push people this way and that way, streetwise. No offense to them, I totally get it. So the way that that's interesting, the way that the water fell on the glass there almost looks like a lacy picture frame, if you will, with like the bubbling occurred like on the corners, and then there's this clear round spot, I guess, where the doors open, and keep it like windshield wiper-ish clean, Anyway, they're at Apple. Are they as old as Lace? They had to come in to serve as a vehicle for people who need to be puppeted the rest of their lives. And without Apple, their entire identity would crash to the ground, shatter. The shards of glass would just spread worldwide. You know what I mean? Team meetings. They have a team meeting in Urban Outfitters. There's nothing worse than a team meeting. It's like, I hate everyone I work with. I just want to work and get over with, you know? So Urban Outfitters, you know, AKA homeless clothing designs for 30 times the price. And so forth and so on. And do they fit people to wind up homeless outside? Good question.